Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. D. Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science with Cybersecurity. Today we are going to discuss about threat detection and web security. A cybersecurity threat is any potential miscellaneous act, circumstance or event aiming to gain unauthorized access, damage, disputes or steal data from computer system and network. Today, the scenario is the growing threat landscape is projected to reach 10.5 trillion annually by 2025, making it more profitable than the global trade of all major illegal drugs combined with rising complexity, global reach, and 24/7 operational attacks. The projected cybersecurity cost is around 10.5 trillion by 2025 is an greatest amount which can be shared. Web application attack shares 39% of all breaches. Average breach cost of 4.24 million per breach in 2021. But the growth of threats was nowadays vast. How to prevent? What are the drawbacks of threats and how we can make it possible? Four core threat detection methods are available. The first is signature based, second is anomaly based, third one is heuristic and rule based. Fourth one is threat intelligence. The signature based threat attack method is an effective implementation of threat detection. It compares the file, traffics and process with knowledge miscellaneous indicators. Say for an example, where in any case the type of a threat was detected, that detection can be done with these four circumstances, either by the method of threat or method of attacking or heuristic or rule based. Third one is anomaly based and fourth one is threat intelligence. This anomaly based is a miscellaneous data whichever is transmitted or whichever it is accessed by an unauthorized person or hackers. The threat intelligence is an incorporated global threat detection which was early warning with the date and known attackers or behaviors. All these four methods are the purely and popular methods for threat detection. The signature based and anomaly based comparison detection was done here. The signature based compares the file, traffic and process with a known miscellaneous indicator. Say for an example, if somebody is not an attacker or unauthorized person but they may access an unauthorized data. So the pattern of accessing the data is unusual compared with the regular pattern. This comparison was done in signature based. Whereas in anomaly based, the identifiers diverts from a normal pattern, that is unusual login location or abnormal traffic spikes or unexpected user behavior. Say for an example, if we have a login with our own system, never it asks for captcha. But sometimes if you log in with a different IP, definitely the mail ID, even the mail ID will ask for a captcha. Such kind of detection was done to find out the threats and attackers. What are the pros and cons of this signature based and anomaly based is the pros and cons of a signature based is fast and direct detection catches routers in threats, whereas the cons are only catches the known threat or bypassed by the modified attackers. In signature based, the threats can be known only with the pattern whichever already exists. But in case of a bypass or a modified attackers, it cannot be identified using the signature based. Whereas in case of anomaly based, the pros are the catches new threats, spots 0-day attacks. That is, it can able to find out today is a 0-day attack, that is no unauthorized person can access this. These cons are unusual login locations or abnormal traffic spikes or unexpected user behaviors cannot be identified with an anomaly based. So we are moving on to the heuristic rules and threat intelligence driven. The heuristics and rule based is we are following certain rules and regulations. Say for an example, when you get into the login, not even the password, you have to give captcha, that is additional prevention for accessing your own data. This additional security avoids such kind of a threats. to access the unauthorized person with unauthorized private data. Say for an example, the bank details cannot be accessed. The indication of the message, even though you are the right person to access your own account, even then also the intimation of the message will be popped up stating that if not the transaction done by you, please call me in the toll-free number. Likewise, the message will be displayed on the screen. In heuristic and rule-based method, it evaluates action and intent rather than the appearance. Why that such kind of attackers was getting in, what kind of the data they are trying to access, what is the purpose of the data, what is the benefit when they access such kind of a data, that was analyzed in the heuristic and rule-based method. Whereas in threat intelligence driven, it is a incorporated global threat data and attackers behavior, that is phishing domains, botnet services and ransomware trans are one of a few of the threat intelligence driven. These kind of an actions was performed to know the attacker motto and the attacker benefits. The prioritizing alert with the context. Say for an example, if you access the data by the unauthorized with the private data or the unauthorized data, sometimes the pop-up message will be displayed, sometimes even the system will get crashed. So the prioritizing of accessing of the unauthorized data is now, it has to be summarized with the threat intelligence and drivens. These are the four methods of the threat detection in cybersecurity. The common web security threats are injection, sensitive data exploit, broken access control, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, XML extend entities, security misconfiguration or additional threats. I have listed only few of the threats what is common for all in network and our own personal computers. The injection is nothing but the voluminous data, whatever we have stored, it might be doubled or it might be less compared with the original data what we have stored in the memory. That is attack in the memory. Then sensitive data explore, improper data protection and encryption failures. Say for an example, when we get into the CAPTCHA, only by scanning that CAPTCHA only we can able to identify what the content is. So such kind of preventive measures has to be taken place. Then broken access control, unauthorized access to restrict the restores like your antivirus or any firewall systems, when we can able to follow to broke or to prevent the broken access control. Then cross-site scripting, client-side scripting injection attacks. Say for an example, during the transmission of a data, that is during in the network transmission, even in the client side, the client may trying to access the unauthorized data in server, may knowingly or unknowingly. Such kind of a access or can be prevented with a cross-site. Then broken authentication. This is credential theft, session hijacking. Sometimes when you do a transaction, it has a transaction time period. When you transfer an amount, a larger amount or might be a smaller amount from one account to another account, the OTP might have some time limit duration. After the time duration, the session may get closed. To avoid the threats, such kind of a preventive measures has been taken place. The next one is security misconfiguration, that is default configuration or improper cloud settings. In our system, when you open your system, the desktop may appear the desktop may appear in such a way how you have closed the system. But in some cases, after the malware or after the threats was occurred, the system will misbehave inside, or when you open the system, the files whatever you have stored in the desktop or might be in some other place may have changed. Such kind of a security misconfiguration can be known with the help of these threats. The additional threats are insecure declaration, known vulnerabilities, insufficient login. That is, sometimes when we try to log in into a Google server, the server might get busy. But I need in such information from a Google. But in such case, the load balancing can also be a threat for the client server. The web security best practices are strong authentication, data encryption, keep software updated, printing testing, indicate response plan, input validation, vulnerability scanning, Traffic monitoring. These are some of the best practice. Each and every time, whatever the application we have to update because the application automatically gets additional security features from the attackers or unauthorized users. The strong authentication. Sometimes if we get a password, we have a strong, medium and less password for the protection of the data. The data encryption. The data encryption is must for crypting the data. That is, when you transfer a data from one place to another place, the original data is not going to be get transferred. It is in the form of encryption. The encryption methods has to be followed with an updated ones. Then presenting test. Regular security assessment has to be done to monitor whether the original data is available or the malpractice was done with the data, whatever it is stored or whenever it is getting transferred. The instant response plan, that is develop and test response procedures whichever it can give a pop-up message stating that some threat or attack has happened. Input validation. Sanitize and validate all user inputs. Even then, the password is right, the author is right. We have to test whether they are validated or not validated for accessing a private data whatever we stored now. Then next one is vulnerability of scanning. That is regular automated security scan has to be performed because after threat was happened or after the attack was happened, we cannot able to prevent the data where it gets aberrated. The next one is traffic monitoring. Monitoring and analyze of a traffic patterns. We have to know about how we are monitoring and how we are processing in the way of to get the data for the private access. These kind of good practices has to be done for avoiding the threats in network and also in the personal PCs. The implementation of the livered security strategies, that is, no single method is sufficient. A multi-layered approach is essential. Either in signature-based or anomaly-based or heuristics or a threat internal, we need of a combination of any two types of threat prevention or might be of more than one threat preventions. What is the key terms what we are going to access from this is 4 detection methods, invest in training, continuous monitoring, layered security approach, stay update and regular testing has to be done for preventing kind of an attack from the cyber security. These are the basic scenario why we need of a cyber security threat awareness and also how to prevent threat and what are all the methods of threat detection was available. We discuss some other topic in the next slide and next video. Until take care. Bye.